going back to video games and music at the same time. I'm sick of it. Recently, Activision and Harmonix, the creators of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, respectively, have decided to bring back Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Okay.
The world collectively yawns.
Is it gonna be like with real guitars, like the cooler, newer games?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so let me run it down real quick. Guitar Hero, they're coming out in the fall. They said they're gonna have a new guitar. I don't know about the other instruments, like if they're gonna have drums or anything yet. But they're gonna have a new guitar. None of the old guitars are compatible. Big surprise. They're probably all in dumpsters anyway.
The whole landfill full of...
Yeah. One thing I want to know, and I haven't read anywhere, if you can use your guitar, because really, everything has a USB port on it now, right?
Yeah.
Why can't you plug your USB guitar? Why can't it be cross-compatible between the Xbox One, the 360, the PS3, the PS4, and the Wii U? Right?
Should be.
But it's not gonna be. So, guess what? If I have the PS4 version and you have the Xbox One version and we want to duel each other on guitars, like if I go over to your house, guess what? My guitar doesn't work on your version of whatever we're playing. So, someone has to buy another guitar now.
That's crap.
Yeah. Basically, I just want to admonish both of these companies because they've learned nothing from the hiatus they've taken from these rhythm games. It's like they released Rock Band 3 and they released Guitar Hero 1,000,000 and then they didn't sell well and they're all looking at each other like, you got me? I have no idea why they didn't sell. So they're like, alright guys, we gotta go back to the think tank. And the only thing they came up with was, well, let's just release it now. Who cares why it didn't sell?
Not even a focus group or nothing.
They just ordered Chinese and got drunk, and then they called it a meeting.
Somebody will buy it.
So basically, they all learned nothing. Like, they literally learned nothing over the years that these games have been cancelled.
For shade.
They're not going to let you have cross-compatibility for the instruments. And most importantly, why can't the Guitar Hero people and the Rock Band people get together? Because we're still going to have to buy 2 of each of the instruments if we want to have Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Can't we all just get along and have one proprietary toy guitar format?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Why not?
Or just let me plug a real guitar in.
That'd be awesome too.
But they're not going to do that.
Well, it makes sense because, they want people to buy more of the instruments.
Which is exactly why we're sick and tired of buying all those instruments. He had it... Okay, I got into it with Guitar Hero 1, but the first one I bought was Guitar Hero 2. Got the guitar. I bought some crappy third-party guitar, and that one sucked, so then I had to go and buy a second real Guitar Hero guitar. Yeah. And then Guitar Hero 3 came out, and it didn't work with those guitars. So I ended up buying it for the Wii instead, and I had 2 guitars for the Wii U, and then I got, eventually I got Rock Band 2. Like, I sat out a long time. Like, I sat out on Rock Band 1, and then when Rock Band 2 came out, I sat out on that too, until eventually everyone got sick of Rock Band 2, and was trading in all their instruments, and then I was able to get them on the cheap. Yeah. So I was into it, like, a lot later than everyone else.
Hey, clearance.
Yeah. Like, what? These drums are only... I'm a drummer now. So, like, I got into it, like, a couple months after everybody else got sick of it. And then even then, I got sick of it. And it's still too soon, man. Like, I loved those games when they came out. But here's the first problem. They're the exact same games again. You're literally not going to do anything different. You know what I wanted ever since... even before Guitar Hero 2 came out?
What's that?
A storyline. Like, okay, how come you can't just make the controllers, how about, and then any company could design games for them? Because wouldn't that bring a lot more value to the controller?
Yeah, you would think.
Okay, a Guitar Hero or Rock Band come out with their stupid cover band games that we've already been playing for a million years. But how about, like, Square Enix comes out with a music guitar RPG? Or if they make a version for Nintendo that's all Nintendo music. Like, why don't they just expand?
That'd be sweet.
How come they don't expand past the format of just play this exact song that's already been made? Why can't they have original music? Instead of just a stupid music video in the background, why can't they have like a story where you're fighting a boss and every like note you hit is a point of damage? You know? Like, it's not hard to change the format of this, but they're dead set on only letting us do exactly. It's like if every Halo game only lets you have a shotgun and a pistol. And like every Halo game afterwards, no, you only get a shotgun and a pistol. We're not adding more weapons. Well, this is Halo. You get a shotgun and a pistol and you'll be happy with it.
It's boring.
But I already had a shotgun and a pistol. Well, you're gonna have it again anyway.
No, the only thing I could think of is they're trying to just cut back on the production and maybe it like costs too much.
Then how about give us the guitar for free? People might buy it.
I'm guessing it probably costs too much to license the real songs from the bands too.
I would think it cost, why can't you just make original music then?
That'd be awesome.
I grew up playing games like original rhythm games like Parappa the Rapper and Jammer Lammy and Guitaru Man.
Yeah, and those had like storylines to them, right?
It had original music and storylines. The only difference is you had to use the controller instead of the guitar. If they re-released Jammer Lammy or Guitaru Man using the Guitar Hero / Rock Band guitar, that would be super epic and ultra fun. Like, even if they just made new ones with new music, like, that's what I seriously expected to happen. Like, oh, cool, we gotta cover some songs. Now we can get to the weird stuff.
Yeah.
And that weird stuff never, ever came. It was just more of like, well, they just want more songs they've already heard. And that was nice for a while, until how many more songs do you even want on Guitar Hero? Like, even for you, there was a Green Day Rock Band. What else could you possibly want on Rock Band now?
Maybe, like, older stuff. They didn't have everything.
Didn't have every Green Day song. But now, a lot of the stuff I want isn't even big enough to get into a game like Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
Yeah, think about it the way, like, TV went with TV shows. Like, it was all about, like, you had to have big name actors and, like, really interesting stories. But now, like, with stuff like Netflix and or like Amazon or whatever, they're doing their own stuff and people are just watching what they want to watch. I think more people need to get into like the game systems and start doing their own thing, you know?
Yeah, I think Rock Band or Guitar Hero would be better as a platform.
Yeah.
And not just a game series by these two companies. Because then here's a controller, and then it's just another video game controller you can use to make games for. But the fact that they're just going in this exact same direction after like several years of company meetings and projects, and how many times have they had to talk about where do we go from here because no one wants to buy our game anymore?
Well, how about you take some chances, do something different?
They're like, the one thing that is kind of cool, they're probably just going to reboot it. Like, here's Guitar Hero. You know how when they reboot things, they just name it the same thing again?
Yeah.
They just take away all the numbers and try to pretend like all that bad stuff never happened.
It's the original, sort of.
So they're going to do that, and then everything else is going to be downloadable. Like, they're not going to have a Guitar Hero reboot Part 2 and Part 3. It's all going to be downloadable music.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't care anymore. Like, that's the biggest thing. Do you think about going to your friend's house and playing fake guitars anymore?
No, not really.
Like, if I still had my instruments and I set it up right now, it's like, hey, let's play some Guitar Hero after the podcast.
We might do like one or two songs and...
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how this went.
I seriously think they would really benefit from like being able to add your own songs and do something like that. Like
Well, they did have something like that in Rock Band 3, I think, where they had like you could create your own music. But then no one wants to do that. Because you'd have to recreate a song you already made in Rock Band. Like, you couldn't just upload a song you made.
Oh yeah, that sounds way too complicated.
So I'm sure some music nerds probably got real into it, but that's just not something that your everyday dude's gonna do.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna make a really terrible song and try to make your friends feed it.
It's like, dude, this song sucks. It's just because you suck.
Another thing that I wanted them to do is if you don't want to make original stuff, why didn't you just team up with Square Enix or team up with Nintendo, team up with Capcom, and do like a Capcom Guitar Hero, and you could have all these sweet metal remixes of Mega Man, and, or for Konami you would have Castlevania, and Nintendo you'd have everything Nintendo. So you'd have like everything Nintendo, and that would be really rad too. Like, you'd obviously got all the gamer nerds. Like, it probably wouldn't sell as much as, say, a regular Guitar Hero, because that's pop music, you know? But still, wouldn't you buy the Capcom Guitar Hero, where you could play as Mega Man rocking out with a guitar?
Well, yeah.
And saving the world from robots? While you play all this sweet-ass Mega Man music?
Well, yeah, of course people like us want to do that, but, like, I think they're thinking that's too much of a fringe market. They're trying to go for the broad demographic.
And that's stupid, because the broad demographic is long since moved on from Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Like, it's never going to reach that level of intensity anymore. And another reason why is I call this DDR syndrome. Remember DDR?
Fuck.
Remember that was popular for a little while, right? Like, when all the kids would go play that in the arcade.
I think they still do.
Well, yeah, but now it's like the best of the best people that play that, like, as their hobby. They don't play video games as a hobby, they play that video game as their hobby.
You have to go to, like, a bowling alley or something.
Yeah, but basically, so DDR comes out, right? And it's fun, it's novel, because you're just, like, dancing like a dork in the middle of an arcade. So, like, everyone's tried it once just to see what it's like. But then it got real popular, right? Because everybody thought, oh, it's easy, you just step on the pads. And then people got good. So then they released the next one. It has to be a little bit harder for all the people that got pro at it. So each iteration, it gets a little bit harder. And then the next thing you know, like, newcomers can't even play the easiest songs because they're so hard.
Yeah, it's like that shit turned into real dancing.
Yeah, but with no real world application. No girl's gonna like you because you're busting those moves in the club.
Not really.
So I think Guitar Hero and Rock Band were going through the same thing. Like, with every iteration, you had to invest more money for controllers and stuff. The songs always got a little bit harder. The songs always also, they had used up a lot of classic songs. So each iteration kind of had more obscure hits.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, there's just only the hardcore people are into it. Like, the people that play Guitar Hero seriously. Not just people that play it to relax or at a party.
Professional Guitar Hero.
So, like, I think they lost a lot of people that way. Especially when Rock Band 3 was like, now you can play with a real guitar. The point was I didn't want to play with a real guitar.
Trying to escape reality, man.
Video games are for pretending. Not for work. It's not like there's a video game on how to stock shelves or do returns. Well, anyway, I think they lost a lot of people that way. And plus, they just kept... Every time you fucking turned around, there was another fucking Rock Band or Guitar Hero coming out.
Yeah.
And they're doing it again. They're going to come out at the same time again. They both had several years to stop and relax. And then they announced, oh, we're coming out with Guitar Hero. Oh, yeah? Well, we're coming out with Rock Band then. It was like, great. Now we're stuck in the same shit pile we were when it all came crashing down. When I would call GameStop and they won't even take my guitar used. We don't buy those anymore. Whoa, what? I just bought this like a week ago.
We don't want that shit.
Yeah, and you were stupid enough to buy it. I used to love Harmonix as a company, ever since I got into, what is it? Freakonomics? Harmo Freaks? Amplitude. It was called Amplitude and Frequency. Those were the two games they came out with on the PS2. And it was essentially just like Rock Band, or Guitar Hero really, except you use the PlayStation controller.
Right? Yeah.
And you just hit X, circle, or triangle, to music. And it was really rad back then. So Harmonix has been up to this boring crap since like 15 years. For 15 years, they've been doing these kind of games. And not that they're bad games, they're great. And Rock Band is great at making them. You know what Rock Band creators, Harmonix, and the Activision people, it turns out, also aren't good at? Art.
Yeah.
They don't have like a single original illustration in their body, it feels like. Because you know how goofy the caricatures looked in Rock Band and Guitar Hero, right? With their like big cartoony chins and funny looking faces and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really get that.
Like they didn't look like people, but they looked really cartoony, but not in a likable cartoony way.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, they're just like generic rockers.
And it was the same thing back on Amplitude and Frequency. You could call in the game, you could make a character called a Freak. Freq, like frequency, shortened.
Oh man.
But anyway, like, you could switch between different, like, outfits and stuff, but they essentially look the same as the characters in Guitar Hero. They just, like, look like goofy avatars. You know what they remind me of also? The avatars for the Xbox 360 that you would get.
Oh, yeah.
Just goofy generic avatar. That's all they look like. There's nothing original about them. Like, they don't have anything that differentiates them. And they've continued to do that. All they've done is try to get a little more realistic, I guess, now that they have the graphical power to do so.
Yeah.
But nothing looks interesting. They don't make crazy cool stages. Like, you can't play, like, in hell with all kinds of volcanoes going off and shit. Like, you're still playing in venues as a band. Like, your drummer can't be Satan. Your guitarist can't have angel wings. Like, you can't have anything really cool.
You can't even, like, play on a boat or something.
Yeah. They've nailed down the game. We get it. We know how Guitar Hero and Rock Band work. It's fun, fine, okay. But, like, all the other parts around the core mechanics, they haven't done anything with. That's my biggest problem. Like, even if it was just, instead of the band playing, it's just like your Guitar Hero avatar walking across the street, like a side scroller, shooting like Goombas with his guitar. At least it's something. At least they messed with something.
Interesting. Do something interesting.
They haven't learned how to do anything interesting.
Sad.
Like now, yeah. Before I wanted like the games to flop so they'd learn a lesson, but now it's just like when a parent is just giving up on discipline, it's like, fine, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm done lecturing you, Harmonix and Activision. You're not gonna listen, so crash and burn on your own.
Yeah.